Cowabunga dudes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and welcome to another episode of Totally Tubular Turtle Tuesday, the one day of the week where I take a look at something TMNT related, from action figures to comic books to video games and movies, and everything in between. So for this episode, I'll be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Vintage Collection Super Shredder. Now the Super Shredder is actually my all-time favorite Shredder figure. He's such a cool toy. I remember playing with him as a kid and absolutely loving him. He was my definition of a Shredder toy. I loved his look. He was so cool and scary and tough. I loved his paint apps. I loved all the blades, really cool accessories, and overall, I just thought he was a mean-looking character that I absolutely loved. He's one of the prides of my TMNT collection, and I cannot wait to check him out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's give you a quick rundown of all the tubular things that he comes with. So the Super Shredder does come with a few of accessories. Starting off, he comes with his Shredder communicator, his sinister spiked staff, his shred studded belt, and 2 mini ooze canisters. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at the Super Shredder. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Super Shredder. Now, easily my favorite Shredder figure of all time. I think he's just so cool. I remember when I was a kid getting this figure, man, I was so happy because this was such a killer looking character. I mean, such a cool toy for any kid back in the day. Real mean and aggressive looking. All these spikes, I mean, look at all the spikes that we get on this guy, all these blades and whatnot. I mean, that's crazy. They're all done in this really nice metallic silver that actually looks really good. And what's really cool is that you even get a lot of sculpting in there, because in each blade you can see these little gashes, like lines, all throughout all the blades. So that's really cool. That adds a little more character to them, instead of just being straight blades. Then you get all these cracks and scratches and scrapes and dents in his armor and whatnot, which is really, really cool. I do like that quite a bit. You even get like these, let me see, pull this out the way a bit, these silver shoulder pads in there. All really, really cool. I like that quite a bit. It was always really cool to me that like the look of this, I mean, these are basically just football shoulder pads, like spray painted and put spikes on, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. Like I said, just a really cool look. I love the purple on this, and I like the fact that we get like this black, almost like wash or detailing in there to break it up a bit, to break the sculpt up a bit. I do like that quite a bit. All this black line work in here, all throughout the muscle structure, looks really, really cool. Love his helmets. You got all the studs, obvious samurai, helmet, whatnot. So all these painted silver studs looks really, really good. All the bladed like edges right here. In the movie he was carving those edges into his helmet. Look really cool. And I do like just the full like covered mask Shredder head. I think it looks really, really good. And if you can kind of tell, my Super Shredder is a little cockeyed, because you can see this eye over here is really coming out to the side over here, so he's a little cockeyed, yeah, so a little derpy, but still very, very cool. I love this figure quite a bit. Let's go over articulation real quick before we take a closer look at the accessories. Pretty standard for the most part for a lot of vintage TMNT. Just a little left and right for the head. Arms go up and down just like that. They rotate at the forearm just like that, rotate just like that, and then the hips are on those ball joints like that, so they kind of just roll around, kick in and out, forward and backward, rotate a little bit just like that, so pretty cool. Then we do get his belt, which is cool too. It's pretty similar to the silver that we get for his blades and whatnot, so you kind of wrap this around. There's a little peg right there. And I like this like ninja star belt buckle kind of thing. And same thing with those blades that have those little etching in there too, so pretty cool. We get 2 of these, which are these mutagen canisters like that. I kind of wish they said TCRI. I know there's versions where they have like a green sticker around there that shows like the green ooze. But I have this version where it's just the silver canister. Those are pretty cool. He can't really hold them. That's like one of the biggest complaints. But what you kind of do is you kind of just turn this hand. It's like an open palm, and you can kind of just rest it in there. So that's about the only way he can actually hold those. Same thing with communicator. It's odd that he actually came with this communicator because this is more from the cartoon and not really the movies. He never used this in the movies, so this is more of a straight-up cartoon item. Same thing with this. He can hold it. I like to kind of wrap it around his thumb like that, and then he can hold it in there in that hand, or he can actually hold it like that, something like that, or I should say, kind of pinch it between the fingers like that, and there you go, something like that. So I think that works out pretty cool for what it is. I do like that. And then my favorite weapon is this big old spiked mace. Pretty cool. All done in silver again. Just all his accessories are in silver, which is pretty common for a lot of vintage TMNT figures. All the weapons were molded in the exact same color. Even though you can tell this is actually wood, you can see all the wood grain sculpting in there, and like the handle, still all done in silver. Big ball with a bunch of spikes and blades and whatnot. I like that so much. So you can actually hold this in the hand like that. And it's weird because I don't know why they did the hand like this. Because it's not a full gripping hand, how it's sculpted. It's just like the two fingers and the thumb. I'm not sure why they sculpted it like that. But he can hold it in this hand like that. I like to tend to use this like that and then kind of two-hand it. Rest it in this other hand like so you can hold it something like that. So I think that actually works out pretty good. You could also store this because there's a little hoop back here on the back of his belt. You can see that right there, and you can kind of just slide this in through there, and then you could actually just hold it in there, and then he does have somewhere to holster that spiked mace, which is really cool. So overall, absolutely love this figure. Definitely my favorite Shredder of all time. I do hope at some point we do get I know there's another Super Shredder from the modern cartoon, but that is nothing compared to this bad boy right here. He's a really cool figure. Like I said, I do hope we get an updated version of him at some point with this actual look. I love the fact that one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, Kevin Nash, played the Super Shredder in the movie. So cool, real fun fact. So again, I love this figure. I think he is one of the best TMNT figures to get, and I think you would absolutely love him for your turtle collection. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your TMNT comparison, here he is standing next to the 4 vintage movie star turtles from the Vintage Collection. And just for fun, here he is standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys. My review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Vintage Collection Super Shredder. Now, like I've stated before, this is my all-time favorite Shredder figure. I think he's so cool. He was such a favorite toy as a kid for me. I loved his paint apps, his dark look, that really cool helmet, and all those spikes and blades just made him for such an awesome figure. I loved playing with him as a kid, and I cannot be prouder to have him on the shelf as an adult. With all these things going on, makes him for another totally tubular action figure. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Cowabunga dudes, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.